Hi, so welcome to Golf FM. So this is the test I've been waiting to do the most out of these new drivers, the QI35 versus the QI10, and that is the middle model. So the one that I used last year, this QI10 standard, no max, no nothing on it, against the QI35 middle model. There's a max light, there's an LS, there's a max, and there's a normal one, as I would call it, and this is the normal one. So I'm going to be hitting these with the shaft that I'm used to and the loft that I'm used to and just compare them from that. So I'm warmed up, I warmed up with my old driver, I've not hit the new one, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. In terms of looks, when I look at the bottom of them, it's totally in the eye of the beholder as to whether it's actually nicer or not. It's certainly wider looking at the bottom, so it looks longer front to back. There's a lot more going on almost on the QI10 in terms of where the weight pod is. You sort of see that more, it's more hidden in. It just looks like a fairly flat sort of underside to the QI35. It looks perfectly nice. It looks like it's got the weight, appears to be more centered on this one. There's certainly a weight in the heel on this QI10 standard model, and so potentially is it less draw bias, but we'll have to wait and see. I don't know. So in terms of the top line, when I put them down, obviously the finish is very different. You've got that grey carbon effect on the new one and that polished black look, which I actually quite like on the other one. So in terms of the way they sit on its own, I suppose it does look quite square, the new one. I was worried it was going to look a little bit more closed. Yeah, they're not far off. I think maybe the older one looks slightly more open, so if you prefer that look, then that'll be better for you. It tends to be lower handicappers don't like the club looking left on them. It's definitely a sort of fatter, rounder shape. It's slightly more elongated, the older one. Not a lot of difference, but enough to notice it, that it's a wider, rounder sort of look to the top. Looks nice though, perfectly nice. So I think I'll hit the QI35 first. I'm hitting it with a 𝐑𝐄𝐋𝐀𝐄 60S, which is the shaft that I've been using a bit this year, and this is a 10.5 just set to standard, just as the QI10 is as well. So I'll try and hit 10 decent ones of each, which might take me some time, might incur quite a lot of editing, but we will get 10 decent ones, and I'll make sure that it's a fair test and that we've got an even spread of good strikes, and maybe not 100% strikes, but decent strikes as well in there. So I'll take any absolute shambles of shots out of it, just so it doesn't skew the figures too much, and there might be a fair few of them. So let's get on with it. And apologies if you were looking for some sort of in-depth technical aspects to this test in terms of how they've made this new one better. Just know that they have, that the robots have tested it, and it is actually performing better than QI10 was on the robots. They've got so many things in this now. They've got carbon face again, they've got the speed slots still, they've got twist face, weights at the back, carbon everywhere to make it light, just everything you could wish for to make it easy to hit a driver straight and long. It doesn't always work out like that, does it? So let's have a go. Don't think I hit that very well. Bit of a hooky slinger. See how far it goes and then take it out, because it's embarrassing. Put that down to first tee nerves and want to make a good impression with the new club. Don't think I hit it terribly well either. Miles right, I think we'll have to take that off because that missed the planet. I think it was okay, it's a little bit right. Trying to come back. 282, 254 in the air. If you haven't seen me before, my swing speeds, so that was 101 swing speed, 148 ball speed. That's not one of my better ones. I can do better than that. I can get up to about 108. I think an average swing speed for me will be about 105, 104, something like that. It seemed okay. Hopefully it's some sort of respectable distance. Yeah, okay, take that. 257, 285. Still got a bit of club head speed in me, that's 102. That felt good. That might have been a good shot. Not sure how spinny or whatever it is, because that makes a difference to distance. No, it was obviously a bit too spinny, 2.8, yeah. It felt good though. In terms of like the feel, nice and responsive, nice noise. Okay, in here they all feel and sound a little bit similar. I always think when you take them outside, that's where you really start to feel and hear what a club is really like. But yeah, for the most part it feels nice. It doesn't feel dead in any way with the carbon face, not at all. A little bit too far right, but if it's good distance we'll keep it in. Yeah, 286, keep it in. And the spin figures were okay. It launched stupidly high, 18. It's not the end of the world. Felt good again, a bit lower and straighter this time. Be happy with that out in the course, but how far did I go? 283, 254 in the air, 105 swing speed, so that was alright. Again, it feels nice. Easily happy with the feel and look. I think it was a bit off the bottom of the club, which means it probably won't go that far, but we'll see. Oh, it's getting up to 283, that's okay. Nice and straight, but it's a little bit low for a long one. 284. This is slightly disappointing, as I have on occasion, I do get up to 300 in total distance, not in carry obviously. Long way away from that. I'd expect to see some in the 290, so this is not a particularly good batch, I would suggest. Low straight one, probably won't be very far. Difficult to say about forgiveness, because I mean, if I hit it offline, I hit it offline. As the face is open, I'm coming from the inside, whatever it is. For me, it's holding on to distance, forgiveness. And there have been quite a few shots where I haven't hit them properly, and they've still got 270 odd and 280, even when I'm not hitting them well. I would expect to have 2 or 3 290s in there, verging on a 300 and a batch of 10 good ones, so might have to keep going. That's a better drive, I think. And there you go. Just wasn't swinging very well. 292. Nice drive. Check that, that's 291, yeah. Keep that in, obviously. Nice and straight, but I'm not so sure how efficient all the figures were on it. It's okay. I think it was decent. I'm saying that a lot tonight, and it hasn't been. 286, nothing special. I think I'm not having a particularly good night in terms of ball striking here. But it'll carry on to the other driver as well. Long way right, but how far is it going? Nothing special. Yeah, leave it in. I actually genuinely need a shower now, and I haven't even hit the other driver. That felt like a good strike. Please tell me that's a decent distance. Yeah. Right, we'll leave it there. I did feel struggling a wee bit ball striking tonight. It's nothing special. Usually we get few more in the 290s than that, but we'll take the best of them, make sure to take the best of them, and we'll put it up against the QI10. Okay, so QI10, my actual driver that I've been using for the last few months. I was using a copper dark speed for most of the year. I just got slightly bored of it, that was all. It was a perfectly good driver, and I thought I'll try this one for the last few months, and I liked it. Right, so here we are, my own driver. 10 of the best, 10 good ones anyway. Felt nice. A little bit out to the right. Nice noise. Do I like that noise better than the other one? I'm going to reserve judgment till I've hit a few more to remind myself. Sounded noisier and more titanium sounding than the other one. That wasn't very nice because I didn't hit it very well. I was going to go to the gym after this. I genuinely feel like I don't need to go to the gym now. Just thrash drivers as your gym workout, your program. It's so embarrassing. The strike's just so bad. So I haven't got one yet. Still none. Well, it's a bit right, but we'll take it. 281. Not particularly straight, but it's a 284, so I'll take it. I said 280 is kind of the minimum acceptable number tonight. No, that's at the bottom, that'll never be anywhere. Absolute torture. It's supposed to be enjoyable hitting golf balls. That was a bit of a more solid hit. Let's scrape into the 280s. No. Wow, this is incredible. That's a better shot, surely. Surely it can scrape into the 280s. Yes, what an effort it is tonight to do that with both clubs. This is the most amount of deleted shots I think I've ever done. Shot 13s, I've got to get to 20. I don't know anymore. 288, thankfully that's a little bit better. I mean, looks good to me, but right on the mark, 280. No. Certainly could do with going to the gym by this performance. Again, felt alright to me. Maybe a little bit low. 282, nothing special again, but a counter. Gets me closer to that mark of finishing this test, which has seemed like an unachievable goal at times tonight. Again, felt like a good strike. More of a meaty strike, a slightly less spinny strike than the last one. And there is 283, a little bit better, so 3 more to go. Like I've had a 290 in this batch, have I? No. This is painful. That felt good. This driver feels nice. It does feel nice. They both feel really nice. 283, but I'm just not having a good night, unfortunately. Seemed like a good strike. Nearly got into the 290s. Has he managed to finish off with the 290? No. Right, that's officially 284. I know what it feels like now when you sort of get to the top of Mount Everest. That must feel very similar to the sort of euphoric feeling of at last achieving what you once thought was an unachievable goal, of hitting 20 shots that you could actually count for the test. That wasn't pleasant. Hitting golf shots is meant to be pleasant. That wasn't pleasant. Struggling with my swing a bit tonight, but I've got the best out of it that I could tonight, so you can compare them tonight, because it wasn't as if the first batch was like unbelievable and then suddenly went off the boil. I was off the boil all night. So let's have a look at the figures and see what that tells us. I'm not going to take too long here because I've had enough, to be honest. So this test actually, for once in my life, has actually shown up that the new driver is better than the old driver. Usually my tests end up, I almost feel like it's nonsense a lot of the time, where it ends up showing that the old one's 10 yards further than the new one or something stupid. Quite as bad as that, but sometimes it's disappointing that, you know, I can't get it to show that the new one is actually better when, you know, the guys back at Taylormade are giving it everything for the last year, and then I'm strolling up telling them that it's not any better. I mean, they can prove to you it's better. But anyway, at least it's showing something in the new one's favour, because quite often I can come out with old Tom Morris's hickory shafted driver and it ends up beating this year's QI35. So we've got 153 miles an hour ball speed to 152 on the QI10, but then you look at club head speed. Always got to look at club head speed as well, in case the batch was massively different in terms of the figure. 104 to 103, so the QI35 batch did have an average slightly faster swing speed, but it was only 1 mile an hour. We got 1 mile an hour faster on the ball speed. So that's so close, it's not worth bothering about. The launch is very close as well, 15 and 16 degrees. The spin rate is 2.455 and 2.6 on the old one. Now, one of the things I saw in Rick Shields' video, which might be true, is that he thinks that these new ones are a little bit lower spin than their corresponding brothers from last year, so that would tie in. But again, it could be a little bit to do with the strike and that sort of thing. But if you want to read that it's lower spin, then put that into your computer and try and work out what driver maybe you should go for and what shaft you should go for. But you should always be getting fitted anyway. Carry then 260 for the new one and 258 for the old one, with a total of 287 for the new one and 284 distance for the old one. That's the key figures, and good in a way that it shows that the new one is not worse than the old one, because I'm quite capable of doing a test and that's looking like it's the case when really that would never be the case, especially when I've got the same shaft in that. It might be that the Max fits me better this year than it did last year. I don't know, I haven't tried that yet. So there's still some testing to be done and some working out to be done, but that's my findings so far, and I hope that maybe helps you in some way and points you in the right direction. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.